I don't know how many of you have noticed this or not, but the news is starting to follow what's on the internet. What I mean by that is, I've seen a couple of news stories that I know the idea was first brought up by things I saw on the internet. The latest one was I found an archived news broadcast on YouTube where they were talking about these. It was in recent news too. These signs that are up in a southern black community, I believe it's in Georgia, where they're telling black women not to get abortions. It's all because a lot of people think that abortions are an attack or a eugenic attempt to reduce the population of black people and other non-white people and poor white people. If you don't know what eugenics are, go to Wikipedia. They have a very extensive, very extensive summary of that. And I was looking at this, and it was showing how how black people resisted abortions in the 1940s, and then the civil rights movement came along, and black people really resisted abortions, and the women's lib movement came along and convinced black women that they should have the right to get abortions. And then that's when the abortion rate of the black community got to be ridiculous. Now I have seen this complained about with people on YouTube. Okay? And now I used to see this also complained about maybe 10 years ago, but not in the news, but just old televangelists, even some white televangelists were complaining about this. But my point is, I never saw it make any major news network until recently. Now, what is the name of that sister? I'm going to pause for a second. Her name is Black Love Rules. Black Love Rules was talking about this very same thing. But of course, she was not using TV-friendly language. Who was talking about it before Black Love Rules? Blacktown.net guy. The guy who calls himself the mayor of Blacktown.net. He was talking about the same thing. Interesting. Then, he talked about it for years. She commented on it. Some other people commented on it. And then, bam, it gets to be on the news. That was one instance. Oh, when they started talking about people were talking about the birther thing, with Obama, that was on the internet first. I know that was on the internet first. And then mainstream news picks it up. So what I'm telling y'all is that if you want to talk about being on an edge or a cutting edge, you're on the edge now by being on and being tuned into the internet. The news should be ahead of the internet, but it's not. The internet is ahead of the news. And if any of the conspiracy theories are true about how they want to shut down the internet, control the internet, and regulate the internet, I could be naive. I don't necessarily think it could be because they just want to control us and make us mindless robot slaves. I think the people on the internet are scooping journalists. That's right. The people on the internet are getting the news first. It's making people not watch TV as much and making regular news channels and regular television passe, unnecessary. Because if you want the news, you can get it on the net. When I want my news quick, I used to go to BBC, I used to go to CNN. I go to the internet first, and then I check those things out. Because they're usually a week behind, maybe a few days at the most.